Neighborhood Tech Troublemaker, and tonight this is the May Content Creators Meetup, and so I've got some fantastic guests, and here they are. Everybody. All right, I am so excited. I have Tanya Smith from Stream Like a Boss. I have Tatiana from Tatiana Teaches. I have Dr. Dwain Woode from, Dwain Woode MD, and these are just three of amazing people out there, and we're going to talk about kind of our origin stories. And I'm going to turn the volume down on that really loud music in the background behind us. There we go. And sorry about that. I do that every time. And so we're going to talk about content creation, and we're going to talk about the origin stories, how we got started creating content. We'll talk about troubles and challenges we've run into, talk about what's next and that type of thing. And so just very exciting. And I always learn so much from nights like this. And so Tanya, I would like very much for you to give us the short, tell us who you are so everybody else knows in the world.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. This is awesome. I'm a big fan of you, Roy. So I am the founder of Stream Like a Boss TV, which is a weekly live stream series where I talk to course creators, consultants, and coaches to help them to learn how to leverage more live video to be more effective at serving more people, standing out, selling more of their services. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm also the founder and CEO of Get Noticed with Video LLC, which is where I host my Stream Bosses Academy. And there's just nothing but fun and amazing things that we get to do with video content creation. So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Tatiana, give us the elevator
Hello.
pitch.
Thank you, Roy. So fun and just honored to be in this great circle of creators. Thank you. And I teach online and in-person public speaking skills to people-centered leaders, creators, and educators, helping people to feel more confident, less anxious, gain some clarity, and really be able to express themselves and feel like their voice matters. So for me, it is truly all about helping elevate people's communication skills so that it is clear and confident, and a lot like the rest of the crew here tonight, really love pouring into other people, investing and truly helping people grow and develop communication skills.
Awesome. And Dr. Dwain Woode, tell us the short bio about yourself, sir.
Well, Roy, thank you once again for like they've been saying, for having us on. Glad to be here in this group. And I'm an endocrinologist by training. I do lots of health-related topics. I do wellness. And on my channel, my goal is to educate, empower, and encourage people to take charge of their health, their lives, avoid complications, and take their life to the next level.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I've got this whole motley crew here tonight. And so, as we usually do here, we kind of talk about the origin story. And I guess I'll just start with you. Tanya, would you kind of tell us, how did you get started with content creation and live streaming, where you really, that's you've niched down to live streaming to help your business community? How did you get started with that?
I will give the really abbreviated version because it's been a long journey. I've been in business for myself for a decade and a half. I started out doing more audio related content. And as a mom at the time, as a brand new mom, as a corporate person, as somebody who was a trainer in that world, I did not find myself having a love or a passion for being in front of a camera. I'm an introvert by nature. So it was not for me, in my mind, to be on video. What got me started, or what really led me into this space in this moment, was desperation, because I saw that my social media feeds and all the content I was putting out previously that was working fine was no longer working, and people were not showing up. They couldn't even see my content on Facebook and other platforms. And so I made a decision. Either I'm going to try this live stream thing that I keep hearing the social platforms talk about, or I'm just going to stop doing this altogether and just be normal. focus on the 9 to 5 and just be a normal person and not do this. But I loved the creative expression that I could do or that I could have with creating content, especially using technology. And so I made a commitment to doing a live stream once a week for an entire year. And after that experience, actually during that experience, I went through all the highs and lows, but mostly highs. Mostly I learned a lot about myself and had a lot of professional and personal growth. And it helped me to see that this could be a vehicle for a lot of people who don't recognize it as a gift to be able to really shine and to showcase their expertise and to reach more people with their message. So my goal, my aim, my mission is to help especially women and other underrepresented groups to find their voice with video.
Yeah, definitely. Do you get an adrenaline rush out of going live? Is there? I mean, we probably all guilty of this. There's definitely, for me, an adrenaline rush when I go live. Is that the same for you? Is that the same for everybody?
Definitely for me, I find that having the ability to be able to really connect with people, this, especially during the whole period that we all just went through, right, where everybody was at home and on camera, to me, it gave me, especially that and the whole introverted nature of who I am, it allowed me to connect with people on a deeper level. It allowed me to be able to really engage in true conversations. And I love it. I love getting on camera every week now. It didn't start off that way, but I've grown into this space. It has become almost like a second family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, adrenaline.
Definitely agree with that. Tatiana, what about you? What's your origin? How did you get started? What made you push that big red button?
It's crazy. I've always loved video, photography. I think that I was actually behind the camera for a long time as a photographer and videographer, but then I had a car accident and a cervical spine surgery, and I had to retire from that world because it was no longer going to be healthy for me. And I spent some time in a pretty low point figuring out what's next. You know, a lot of prayer, a lot of thought, a lot of figuring things out. And through that, I actually discovered, I'll say this, I always loved photography and video from the time I was a child. But then I had an opportunity to teach at a university, and I fell in love with teaching and blending creativity into that. So teaching public speaking, leadership, and interpersonal communication at universities. And I, from there, realized I want to bring this outside of the classroom and bring this to other people. And so I started doing that. And I first just gently through video, dipping my toes in making some videos and interview style. And then someone recommended Ecamm, which is the platform that I love to use, love the community too. Shout out to my Ecamm fam. And then from there, I started going live just this past November. I had been creating videos for a year before that, figuring, learning, growing, bringing it into the classrooms and other things, but really exploring going live. And like Tanya was saying, making a commitment to go live every week. That's what I started doing in November. And I'll save some other stuff that I want to share for later, but that's the beginning. So it's been a little bit of this like interwoven pattern of careers, from first of all being a hospital administrator and supervisor to photography and video and wanting to explore my creativity, to then teaching, and then to being a teacher online as well in this creative space.
That's awesome. Dwayne, how about you, sir? How did you get started with content creation? I spend more time on your Instagram than I do on YouTube, I have to admit, because I really love the short videos and the information that you give. And that's just, love that very fast thing, and love what you're trying to do through, sharing that kind of information to help people and help them better themselves. And now I'm going to let you talk. So tell me how you got started with content creation. Sorry, I just had to say that. So.
Well, man, this has been a dream come true for me. I love being in the public. I love speaking. So my entire career, and this being in medicine actually is my third career. I was tech support. I was in computers before. I taught math and computer science. And when I became a physician, I found myself in the rooms or when I was at churches and so forth, saying the same thing over and over and over and over. And I think my wife actually said, she said, we should make some videos with the things you keep saying over and over. And so I started out making some videos once COVID happened. And I don't know if you remember, Roy, we were in LIDA together the very first time. And I went live for the first time in LIDA on the anniversary of my channel. It was the 1-year anniversary, and I was going to just let it pass by and keep doing the videos. And I went live, and I thought to myself, why have I never done this before? So it was like I was at home, and everything else has been, that's where the history comes from. So it was started as a way of giving information to patients and the public, and not having to repeat those things. And I can say, hey, go watch this video. And now, it's evolved into much, much more.
Yeah. A lot of folks have LIDA to blame for being live on YouTube now. So if anybody doesn't know, LIDA is live every day in April or live every day in August. And Lawyer Petrucci created that, and because of that, I've been going live on every Tuesday night for over 2 years now. Because of that, they got me in front of a camera. I'm like, I can do this. Granted, don't go watch my first videos because they're horrible. But anyway, it's an
evolving process. Evolving process.
It's an evolving process. Yeah, we get here through that. So the other thing is, so all of you, once you got started, what kind of led you to work toward perfecting your craft, so to speak? What, that thought process, I want to be 1% better every single time. What's your process to try to get better and better, every time you hit that red button? And who wants to jump in first on that one?
I'll kick it off because
Wow.
it's a lot like Dwain was saying, where it's an ever evolving process. It's constant. It's every day, and I am probably semi obsessed with YouTube tutorial videos and learning from other people constantly. I'm always watching, how can I learn videos to get better, to do this more, especially with technology. Like right now, for example, trying to learn Stream Deck. I have a Stream Deck now, trying to learn how to use that. But it was Ecamm at first, and that's still going on. And one other piece, because I think most of us will go trying to search out videos to learn the content, but one other piece is I like to collect a bunch of ideas from other people, even outside of my own field or space. Just listen to people who do something totally different for fun, especially when it comes to engagement or activities and interaction, and collect all those ideas. And then just like that book, Steal Like an Artist, you take a little bit from over here, and eventually you make something completely different that you get to then make your own and bring. So it's almost like eating. It's just something that I have to do every day to keep myself healthy and strong and growing. And I do consider myself a lifelong learner, and I have a feeling you guys here feel the same way. It just never stops. It's just continuously improving, getting better, especially with something like technology that evolves and grows very fast.
Yeah, definitely. Dwayne,
and jumping in there, I love what Tatiana just said. One of the things I love, and people may not realize how the content creation community helps each other. I mean, this has been, and people that I don't know, people I've never met in person, I watch them and I'll comment, and I've had people say to me, hey, Dwain, love your content. I think you should do this. I think you should do this. I would do, and it's just this process of building on each other, right? And so I watch you guys, right? And you don't know that I take some of your ideas, but that's all it is, right? So we want to be the best at what we do. We want to always improve. And for me, when I am trying to explain something to someone, when that light goes on, when I can see that light go on in their eyes, I was like, I got them, right? They understand. And sometimes, well, what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to detract from my message, right? What I was trying to teach, because they were looking like, well, he looks crazy. That's, what is he doing? What is he doing? His lights. And if you watch my, like Roy, like you said, if you look at my very first videos, I want to take them down actually. But I was like, no, I'm going to leave them up there, but always striving to give a better image, give a better story, give a better look to the message that I want, because I don't want people to not hear the message because they're, concerned about other things around me. And so when people are starting, we always tell them, yeah, your message has to be good. Forget the lights, forget the camera, forget this, but make sure the message is where you want it to be. But once you've got the message, okay, how do you package it so that people will receive it? And that's why I love what Tanya does.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you guys do watch my stuff and I do something right, please let me know, because I usually don't have a clue if I'm doing anything right at all. So
some positive reinforcement goes a long way.
It does.
Tanya, how about for you? Your production is just so slick. I mean, we were talking before the show that you've done this for a while, and so you definitely can see that you've put so much effort into your work. And so, just first, like, how did you get here? But we all want to know. We're taking notes.
I'm going to tell you all a secret. I've never said this on anybody's show. My first reason is, when I started doing things with technology, social media, being online, my first real honest heart reason was I wanted to know at least 2 steps more than my daughters. I have daughters growing up in the social media and internet age, and my goal was, let me stay a couple of steps ahead so that I know what to watch out for to protect them. I want to know a little bit more than they know, right? So that literally was one of my drivers. The other driver truly is that I have a competitor's heart. I never say I have competition, because I call other people who do similar things, I call them peers. Right? We have peers that do similar things. I don't believe in competition. I think we only compete with ourselves. But I also feel that I can always improve. And to Tatiana's point about the whole continuous learner thing and lifelong learner thing, that is something I never want to stop doing. I love to read. I love following up on trends. When this whole AI and ChatGPT thing came out, I was eating it up and consuming all this information. But really, it is more about me being able to take that info that sometimes feels complicated and complex to people and sharing it back to them in a simplified way. So just like Dwain, when you talked about the whole idea of looking at where you started, my initial videos, I actually leave them up intentionally. I want people to see that it's a journey. It's a real journey. And it also tells stories. When I talk to people about the fact that you will potentially face trolls, you will have people that will dive into your comments and that will show up in your videos at times that you don't even know. And they will say negative things sometimes. And you have to learn how to really get some tough skin when you're doing video. You have to learn how not to take on other people's baggage. And you can see this transformation in my videos, because when I started, I was in walk-in closet. I was in a messy office. I've been in all rooms of my house. I didn't start here. I just, like you said, tried to continuously improve. But in my stories, you will see where for a time I was wearing wigs because a woman showed up in my comments and said that she didn't like the way that I looked. She didn't like my hair because it had been cut really low, like a crew cut. My husband was going through chemotherapy. She didn't know any of this, right? He was going through chemo after being diagnosed with colon cancer. And I was suffering from some of the same effects of the stress during that year of all this stuff that was happening with our family. And I just cut my hair off. I told the stylist, just cut it off. And I get on camera to do my live stream, and this woman pops in the comments, and instead of giving positive feedback, she starts talking negative and telling me how I look. And if I were to look up the definition of unprofessional in the dictionary, your face would be next to it. I had acne, I had short hair, all these things. So what you see is this transition of my videos from where I was lacking confidence, but getting on anyway, to where I was really feeling down, but still getting on anyway, to where I was like, let me take these wigs off. Let me do me and stop owning her stuff.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I think that there's beauty in people being able to see that transformation from where you start to where you are, because it is a journey. This was not an overnight,
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's just amazing stuff. Thank you for that. Yeah, don't feed the trolls. So let's shout out. There's a bunch of folks out there in the audience, and let's catch up. There's Dagan from BGG Grooming. Hey everybody. And then Dwain shouting out to everybody as we get started with the show, hanging out with some amazing people tonight. And I'm here too, so it's really exciting. Coco, P-Code, Ryuko, hoi. Okay, welcome. I don't know if you've been here before, but thank you for so much for coming by. Awesome with things saying, hey. Blue, I always hate when Ecamm, just the blue smiling face. Yeah, I do like the smiling face, but it's just doesn't translate. Hey, everybody. All right. It says, no way, Tatiana. Okay, stream out. Sorry about that. Communication healing. Say, hey, how you doing tonight? Yeah, there we go. Say hi to everyone. Yep. Hey, Tanya. Fix that. Sammy Superstar. Or, hey, Sammy. Let's see. Music Studios. Happy to be here live. Welcome. Says, you can never go back to normality after digging your toes into content creation. That is true. I don't know what normal was before this, but it definitely can't go back to normal after this. So definitely agree with that. Surprisingly enough, I don't have as big of an adrenaline rush as I used to when I started. Oh, well. I still love this. It's Mikey in the house. How you doing there? I always feel like an amateur after seeing other creators. Mikey, you've got a lot of cool stuff going on, sir. I don't. I disagree with that. So, but it's so wonderful to hear of the impact you are all making. So definitely agree with that.
That's so nice.
The craft can never be perfect, only improved. I was kind of thinking
Love
like, physicians practice. I think content creators do too. Granted, we're not having the opportunity to save lives, perhaps, but we're still practicing. We'll never get perfect at what we do. Anna's saying hi, hello, friends. Hey, Anna. David saying hi to Roy and friends. Everybody's saying hey back to David. Yeah, okay. Every day is a new adventure and such an amazing outlet for creativity. Definitely agree.
For sure.
La la.
Oh, by the way, guys,
Janet.
Roy, if I can interrupt for 1 second. Today is National Creativity Day, everyone. So happy National Creativity Day, since we're on that
That's
topic.
right. Woo-hoo. Yeah, I saw your post on Facebook about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw it on Instagram. So Instagram is my second love. YouTube's number one, and Facebook is just this other platform that exists. To me,
Okay.
To me, I know it's more interesting to all you guys. And then Koreans and Mike is saying hi to Mommy God. Always so much to learn. Always let these guys know where to improve and where they're doing great. Also, it also helps us those editing. That is true.
Yes, and I just want to give a shout out to Coco, who actually is one of my video editors on my team. So thank you for that.
Cool.
Those
Thanks
comments
for
on
coming
there.
by. Yeah, Valerie
And
says yes.
Valerie.
Yep.
That's
Yes,
Valerie
Tanya,
in the house.
Stay ahead of those kids. Welcome. And everybody's just saying hi to everybody. Indeed, it do indeed be a journey. So yeah, we have lots of trolls. Yeah, definitely don't feed the trolls. It's such a bad thing to do. People can be awful. A course on how to deal with trolls would be incredible. So there you go, Tanya.
Yeah, that's true.
There's an option for how do you deal with trolls. I think that's one of the topics of your summer session, isn't it? How to deal with trolls. Maybe it's something there. And then
Maybe
Can I
also,
say
read that
something
more.
about that, Roy?
yeah, please.
I want to compare that to, I haven't really dealt with a lot of it except for some like X-rated comments that just get banned quickly.
Mhm.
But if we think about it in all circles of our lives, people have said negative things about us. And for myself at the university, with evaluations from students with the end of semester surveys, the majority of students will be happy and thrilled having a valuable experience. And every now and again, there's one student who's just not a happy customer.
Mhm.
And because we're human beings with a negativity bias,
Mhm.
that one negative comment replays and it
That's right.
stings, even if 99% of people are saying good things. So,
Yeah.
what do? We have to actively tell ourselves, I'm a human being with a negativity bias. I need to deal with these feelings that I'm having, hear this all out. But guess what? That one person cannot negate the other 99% of people who are happy and thrilled with this experience. I need to be able to lay my head down at night and know that I gave it my best, that I did a great job, and to truly believe that it's simply not possible for me to please everybody. It's just not going to happen.
Lala here's got a really great comment. A great way to start my day here on the other side of the world. Lala's from the Philippines. Very encouraging, inspiring words from our panel of guests and Roy today. So,
Hi, Lala.
Lala.
Smashing like pumpkins. Yes, thank you. Everybody's hit the like button. Thank you for that. I don't do the call to actions very well sometimes. Just call me Coco. Okay, cool. Dagan says, I've seen some of Roy's older videos and can see how much he has improved. Yes, yeah. Hey, even Mr. Beast had a really awful looking video. So, Gary Jones Jr., welcome.
Hey,
What's up, Gary?
Hey, everybody saying hi to Enda. Yep, same superstar. Lots of people just say hi to everybody.
Sammy.
And, yep. Do me a favor, if anybody does have any questions tonight, please hit it with the Q colon to make it easier to find them, because some nights the comments are too many and I can't get everybody on there. But anyway, yeah, Mommy got saying, wow, happy National Creativity Day. Perfect. Thanks for the reminder. Tanya, I do have a crafty live stream later. So yeah, Lala does a crafting channel, fantastic, big audience, and
it's amazing.
but she does really long, like 3, 4, 5 hour streams sometimes. So wow. And then she's just
I don't know how she has time, because she does multiple streams a week.
She does, and then she'll have
Wow.
like guests on everything. So and just one of the most encouraging people I've encountered on the internet. So just really awesome. So let's go back to our panel discussions here. So my next question for you is, what are some challenges that you are either facing right now in your content creation journey, or a challenge that you've had that you've overcome that you're really proud about it, and how did you overcome it? So, because there's a lot of learning from that for our other content creators. So, tell me what.
Can I jump into on that one? And I want to go back. So Tanya, just kudos to you for pushing forward despite the troll. Okay, and the reason I say that is one of the challenges that I had was showing up in almost a sterile fashion as I was trying to talk to the audience. And what I meant by that was there wasn't me in my stream.
Yeah.
There was the content, there was the information, and I was putting the information out, but there was none of me, because I had to be perfect, right? I didn't want anyone to comment about what I was doing. I stressed to make sure that I was, saying all of the right things when I talked about the thyroid or the diabetes or this, right? Because I couldn't make a mistake. And because of that, it showed up in the stream as kind of disconnected.
Yeah.
And sometimes if we're not careful, because we want to portray perfection, we lose out on the connection with people. And, going back to Tanya, thank you for saying to yourself, hey, I'm going to be me. This is what I look like. This is where I am. One of the things that and one of the things that I made fun of myself now, or make fun of myself now, is like, I've got big lips. I've got a big nose, right? I'm bald. And I'll tell you, that was something here on the stream. When people see you, you're up close and personal. When I spoke on the stage, I was way up there, right? They were back here, and it was great. But now going live, I'm able to tell stories about myself in the stream and to show up just the way I am. My personality, I talk with my hands. I'm loud sometimes, it's just me. And so there's a community that likes me for who I am. And so that was one of my challenges that I think being in the community, being in the content creator community has helped, because I get to see other people and they talk about it all the time. Just be yourself, be authentic, tell your story, and so forth. So just wanted to jump in and say that.
Yeah. Well, while you got the mic, what kind of content challenges, have you run across? Obviously, you had to fall in love with yourself in order to be able to show up and be who you are. That is the earliest challenge we all have. We're like, nobody's going to want to see me on camera. I can't believe this. So, definitely we've all overcome that, obviously. What kind of challenges have you faced and overcome, over and above that?
Well, surprisingly, at one time, I thought I didn't have enough content. I was like, okay, what am I going to talk about? Right? So when I came on and I started talking about diabetes, I said, okay, so I've got these topics about diabetes, and I went through the topics, and then I was getting ready to do a show in a week, and I said, well, what else am I going to talk about? Right? With all the volume of information that's out there about diabetes, I was like, okay, I don't have anything to talk about. And I had to step back and say, what I was trying to do is I was trying to feed people with a fire hydrant, right? I wanted, when I did a talk about diabetes, by God, they were going to get everything I knew about diabetes in that one show. And then I had to step back and listen to what they were asking. They weren't asking to do a thesis on diabetes. They were like, well, how do I deal with this low blood sugar? Mm-hmm. How do I check my finger? How do I do a finger stick? I mean, just basic, simple things. And once I stepped back, it was like the light went on, and I mean, all these trees started. And I was like, man, I don't have time to do all the things that relates to diabetes, much less all the other topics in endocrinology. Yeah. And then once we added the piece about wellness and mindset and personal growth and figuring out your purpose and all of those things, man, it just exploded.
Wow. Yeah. Tanya, how about you? What were some challenges that you've overcome? You talked about, definitely trolls.
Yeah.
And you just can't feed the trolls, but what other kind of challenges have you overcome?
There are two that I'll mention. One in particular had to do with being who I am, so much like Dwain, being a mom over 50. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, what? Are you over 50? But being a mom over 50, look, a lot of the people who are in the demographics that I'm in will say, it's not for me, it's too late. It's too late to get started. And I found myself really challenged with trying to initially convince other people that this is for you too. I know you're hearing that it's only for 20-somethings and it's not for women of color and it's not for this and it's not for that. But just because you don't see yourself in certain videos and in videos that really get a lot of traction doesn't mean that it's not for you. I struggled with making and creating a space where I felt like I fit in the live stream world. And I struggled then with figuring out, which I don't struggle with this now, but I struggled then with figuring out, how do I create that space not only for myself, but how do I show up so that others who look like me and who may be of a certain age, a certain gender, a certain size, whatever the limitations are that either they're putting in themselves or somebody else is putting on them, how do I create that space and that community so that they feel loved and supported in doing video? So that was a big challenge because initially I thought, well, I have to sound like and be like other people who are already successful. And I think there's a misconception there. Yes, we can take some ideas. Yes, we can learn from anyone who's on camera or in doing content, period. We can learn from people who are doing audio podcasts to do better videos. But I had to really own that if I don't see it, I can create it. So that was number one. A second thing that I struggled with was the challenge of tying back, because I am at heart, a business strategist. That's what I do coaching around. That's what I've been doing for a decade and a half. So I struggle with, okay, I'm making this content, but what am I supposed to do with it? Am I just making it because it's fun? Or am I truly making it because it is supporting and sustaining a business? So creating concepts around how video fits into your overall marketing strategy, how it becomes a part of and a piece of an intentional and on purpose plan, that was something I was initially challenged with too. And I had to make sure that I understood it so that I could pass that on and help those people, those coaches and course creators and consultants who wanted to convert viewers from being lurkers into becoming leads, into becoming actual paying clients. I needed to find a process. I needed to be able to explain how to make that work. So even if you don't have hundreds of thousands of followers and fans, the few that you do were loyal. The few that you do, you were engaging them and nurturing them and loving on them so that they understood, hey, I can make a transformation because of my experience with you, my paid experience with you. So those were the two big challenges for me, honestly, Roy. And I feel like I finally gotten my footing in those spaces. And now I'm really wanting to own that moving forward.
That's awesome. That's very awesome. Tatiana, how about you? What kind of challenges have you had so far in your content creation journey, and how have you overcome them?
Mine is, I think because I have a heart to give, and I will go and ask people that are very close to me for some insight, almost like a blind spots exercise, if any of you have ever done blind spots. And I did that recently, asking a friend, what are some of the things that, especially trying to figure out language and adjectives that people use to describe me as an educator, as a content creator, as a public speaking coach, as a professor. So I asked a close friend who's taught with me, who's been my friend since college, and she had really nice things to say. And then I asked her the harder question, which is, and what are some things that I need to work on? And she said, I think in your desire to give value and information, you sometimes say a little too much, and less is more. And that confirmed for me in my mind that my struggle as a content creator is that I've been going too far, too wide, too much, too many areas. And I did a live stream myself on this last week, how just because I can talk about all of these things doesn't mean that I should, especially at this stage. I'm much newer to live streaming. And so the struggle for me was, but what do I let go? What do I decide I'm not going to talk about, not going to share about? And I was very resistant. I would say, okay, fine, I'll pick one. And then the next morning I'd be like, no, forget it. I'm just going to figure out a way to make this work, because they are all related and interconnected. But in the end, as most of you all know, probably if you've been doing this for any amount of time, you do need to pick an area. You can't do it all. You can't talk about it all. You spread yourself too thin. You dilute the message. You drive yourself nuts. So the struggle, and it's just been the past 8 to 10 days that I have decided and really decided that I'm going to focus specifically on public speaking. That's what my channel is going to be about. So I have a lot of tidying up to do. I'm not going to unpublish any past videos, because I think that's part of the progression and part of my story to share is that, yeah, I really did struggle with, I have so much to say. I have so much I want to share with you all. And then it being all over the place. And it just can't, it seems like in this world, you can't grow an audience that way. Because, Tanya, you're talking about nurturing the folks that come. Too many different kinds of folks, because there's so many different interests are coming. And I think that once I focus more intentionally, then that audience will grow. So my challenge is, I want to give too much, say too much, talk about everything with everybody, and it's just not going to work. So focusing, niching down, or niching down, however you want to pronounce it. And then also the next part of that is then growing a community, because I am a relational person. It's not about transactions for me. It really is about being of value, giving great content. And I love teaching. I love live connections. I love being in person. And, shout out to Tanya's channel, because on her most recent live stream, she interviewed a person who talked about a very valuable piece of information that helped me confirm and affirm my own content personality type, and the way that does feel the best to me to show up for people is live in person, whether that's online or face to face. But those are some of my struggles. The list goes on, but I know you don't have all night, because I'm also with Dwain on, past struggles about the way that you look, the way that people are going to think about you physically, or there's so many things that, I struggled a lot with that in my 20s and early 30s, and, through a lot of therapy and great work and self-love and self-care. It's like, it is what it is, folks. Take it or leave it. You don't have to watch, but it is what it is. And I'm going to be true to myself, and I'm going to be authentic and let my imperfections show. That was also a big part of it too. And it wasn't that I was trying to hide them, but I think I was just confusing perfectionism with the pursuit of excellence. And in fact, perfectionism is just a trap meant to keep you stuck. So it's like, well, that's got to go. This just has to go out the window. In fact, in July, I'm going to be partnering with some fine folks, Katie Fox at eCam and Valerie Pinkston, who's in the chat, to do an entire stream about mistakes that we all make going live. So in fact, I'm embracing that mistake part, and we're just going to talk about it, and we're even going to joke about it. So I just feel lighter even just saying that out loud.
Yeah. So I just get it all out there. So yeah. And that we all struggle through things like this, trying to figure. Yes, I do talk with my hands too. So plain, I'm in the same boat with you. Because I'm not real smart.
That's why my mic is up here, because I need the space.
There you go. That's your creator tip tonight. If you talk with your hands and you hit your mic a lot, you got to put it up above your head. So I have done that. I've learned not to hit the mic. So I have to learn not to smash the desk, because the mic will pick it up if I really hit it hard. So yeah, the other thing, is like, what are you working on next? What is your goal? What are the things that you're trying to accomplish? I know, Tanya, you've got some really big things coming out, just amazing stuff coming out, and definitely your courses that you've got people signing up for. And so, what are you working on next? What's the next big things for you that you've got going on?
It's funny, because I had this idea in my head about the summer school, and I decided, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do live stream summer school. So that's my big next thing for the next couple of months, is that I'm going live to share tutorials about almost every streaming service out there. And I'm also pulling panels together of people. So don't be surprised if all of you get an inbox request. I'm pulling panels together to talk about newbie tips and to talk about gear and some other things. I'm also doing a couple of mini master classes on confidence building on camera. But most importantly, I got off of a call early this morning talking with my own coach, because coaches need coaches too. And I talked to her about my overall vision for where I want things to be. It's community, it's content creation, it's courses, it is continuous learning. I want to continue to grow in my trade, but I also want to pass on what I'm learning to others. And so the whole live stream summer school, that is something that is really kind of my baby project right now. But it's leading to other pieces that I'm putting in place for next year. I've been told that I need to host a Get Noticed Live event here in Dallas. So that's 2024. I'm going to pray on that. And if that is meant to be, then I'll be putting that together. That's going to be a big project, though, for next year.
That's awesome stuff. Tatiana, what's your next big adventure you're going to put out to the world?
Along the same lines, I am figuring out, well, first of all, I love the idea of being a guest on other people's shows. And I've been lucky enough to be on Dwain's show before and now on your show. So Tanya, your invitation, I am so down anytime. I love that. So I love the energy of talking to other people live. So I would like to do more of that. But also I want to run some live events. Again, my focus is public speaking. So we'll all be focused on virtual and in-person public speaking content. And I would also like to create a course, that you don't have to be at Rutgers University in New Jersey to come and take a class with me. I want to be able to model it after some really successful things that I've seen people like Adrian Salisbury do with YouTube Academy, Ecamm Academy, those kinds of courses where several times a year you go live for X amount of time, say a week, and people meet with you and then you have accountability. Like that's what seems to work for me. Asynchronous content where you subscribe, get the videos and do the work on your own is very good and benefits tons of people. It's not my strength or my preference that way. So I like to build in that live accountability into the courses and an introduction to public speaking as well as an advanced public speaking course for people-centered leaders, content creators, and educators, because I also love teaching things virtually. And it's different, the activities, the engagement strategies are different in person, in a conference, in a presentation, in a classroom, than they are virtually. But the connections, and I've been meaning to write, maybe this is one of my to-do listings too, I want to write an article, how screen to screen and face to face are just as real. The four of us we're showing up here right now. We're still human beings. We're still talking to each other. Is it different than if we were all gathered at a coffee shop? Yeah, it would be, but it's still very real. And the fact that we get to build connections this way now, I think that's a very powerful thing about our virtual world. And I like incorporating that into the content too, but hands down, face to face would be awesome. I'd love to be able to treat you guys to your favorite drink right now. It would be amazing. But those are some of the plans on the horizon, because like I was mentioning, that assessment Tanya provided us information on with her last live stream, confirming for me, like, yeah, live and in person is my jam. That's what I need to be focusing on that.
Yeah. Speaking of that just brings up, do you guys, so for me, my track record is if I do videos on demand, those get so many more viewers than my live streams do. My live streams definitely don't do as well, but I love the simplicity of it. I love the excitement of it. I love interacting with the community that's out there. We're coming back to you guys, I promise. We'll be back and see what you guys are saying. Do you guys find that to be the case for your respective channels or your different platforms that you work on? Is that the recorded stuff does better? And then it got quiet.
I know, I'm sighing because I'm sitting here like, yeah, I know it's true. Here's the thing. This is what I've made a decision. Because look, when I've done the metrics and the research, it's telling me you need to do more produced, uploaded videos. It's saying that. And I know that to be true. But I've made a decision that I want to diversify my content. And I want to do it with purpose. I love live streaming. So even if the algorithm is saying, hey, we like that you love it, but we want you to do more produced, I'm still not going to stop live streaming. However, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that I also need to diversify that, because you need to have all three pieces. You need to have awareness content. You need to have bonding content. You need to have conversion content. That's what I teach. So that means there needs to be all different types of content when it comes to your videos, short versions, your live stream, and the uploaded. I know this to be true, Roy, but I just love live streaming. So I've been hard-headed and I'm working on it.
None of us are stubborn. I'm sure that's not a thing. So, Dwain.
Well, Tanya, I think for those of us who live stream, we have the same struggle, because you hit that button and you say what you want to say, and then you hit the button again and you're done.
Yes.
And so when I look back at the content, like I said, the ones I want to take down, they had so many more views, right, than my content that I do live. But on the live, I get to talk to people when they show up and say, "Hey, how you guys are doing it?" And sometimes, it's funny, if you watch my stream, I have different segments that I do on my stream. There's sometimes I get off of my topic and I just start talking. I mean, and it has nothing to do with the topic I was talking about. I saw somebody in the chat and I'm just talking. And then I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be teaching something.
Yes. Yes.
So I get that. But I have what I have termed the post-talk euphoria. Now, I used to do, or I still do, live talks around town, about different topics, different drugs and so forth, different medications. And I'm going to tell you, you asked earlier about the buzz that you get, the adrenaline. When I get off of my live stream, like tonight, when I get off of here, you can probably plug a lamp into me and it would light up and it would burn. It would go for like all night, for the rest of the night. So, so that's the buzz that I get from being on live. But in terms of what's coming next for me, I am, now that COVID is starting to get behind us, I am looking into the community to do more things, more live events. My wife and I did a program earlier this month. And my new program, Ready, Set, Grow, is a community of people who are tired of being stuck where they are, whether it's with their blood sugars or diabetes or in other parts of their lives. And so this is the push that I'm making over the next few months to get that out there, so that I can, within that community, begin talking about courses and other resources that are available to them.
That's awesome.
That is definitely awesome. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. We're going to go ahead.
Can I
please.
add a little something to that too,
No.
Roy, with
No, you
on
can't.
the
No.
video and live? Oh, come on, man.
Please.
Please.
Add something.
Okay, so we're all pretty much saying like we love the lives, and I do too, especially because I started recording videos only first, and then all of the editing and getting backtracked, which is why I had to seek out great people like Coco to come and help me work on this, because I can't do it all alone. But I find that I have the energy to do the work in advance, like all my scenes, all my overlays, creating the content, thinking it through, rather than doing that. But like Tanya's saying, we got to diversify, and I don't know much about investing in the stock market, but I do know diversification is important. And so my plan is I'm going to release a 5-minute VOD, video on demand, short 5-minute lesson, because let's be real, people are really not watching long videos. At least I don't see people watching lots of long videos. And if I have the choice between a 5-minute video and a 50-minute video on a topic I'm interested in, I'm going for the 5-minute one first. So I'm going to make 5-minute video lessons about my live stream content ahead of that, then do a little post, do the live stream, then a short. So that's my goal moving forward, is that for several days of the week, I have different types of content related to the live stream.
Yes.
And then people can consume. So this is my plan. And I am taking active steps and strategies to work on it to make that a reality. But right now, this is what I'm thinking will be the way to go. And I just want to add that I also want to do 1 day a week of a more personal type of post, because I think I'm comfortable with people sharing about my life. But the one thing is, whenever I share any video that includes my dog, my shorts with my dog are super popular. Like, they surpass any video I've ever posted by hundreds. Mm-hmm. So I think I might need to start a Dewey channel.
I think so.
Blow up that way.
I think Dewey needs an Instagram channel, or something.
Yeah,
Dewey's awesome.
Needs his own channel. So That's awesome. All right, we're going to do some more shout-outs. There's so many people. I'm so far behind on comments, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. Definitely into saying hi to Awesome with Things. Valerie says, I didn't know it was National Creative Day. Oops, I guess I missed it. Oh, well. I'll be here with you. I'll create tomorrow. Mommy got saying hi to folks. Valerie also saying hi to folks. It says, interesting term and great point. Negative bias. Yes. Roy has no shortage of background images for his eCam scenes. Love it.
That's true.
It's true. I will do theme based too. If I have a guest on, I know they have a certain theme about their channel. I will do something similar to their theme as the backgrounds for when they're on my show. So, just like and subscribe. Thank you, Tatiana, for letting me know. Good deal. Sorry, it's Tatiana. I'm still half awake, half asleep. It's all good. Well, that's an epic long stream. Yes, she does really long streams. Lala does. So more. Good point. Connection is extremely important. Be yourself. Love it. Yes, definitely agree with that. It's such a personal feel, and it brings such a connected feeling for your audience. Lala says, I love how Dr. Dwain can make a very difficult health issue be so easy to understand. He unpacks them, and it becomes so easy to understand. You've been on Lala's show. I think I remember that episode. So,
yeah, I have. Thank you, Lala.
Wit saying hi to everybody. Yep. Gotta run. Let me hang out. Yep. The first stories, but nice culmination. Yep. The transparency about your journeys are inspirational and needed for us. And that's my goal with doing
very sweet.
The meetups is that I want to inspire folks and have them know that, hey, they're not the only ones that go through the stuff we all go through. And says, no, I don't want to pick an area. You can't make me. Just kidding. Tatiana, I totally resonate what you're saying. Intentional focus is important. Yeah. I want to be the Leonardo da Vinci of live streaming. I want to do something on everything. So, yeah.
Valerie and I were literally having a conversation about this today. So it definitely is like hitting home for us.
David says, niching down really helps. I don't know what to do with my content until I pick the focus. And now I have a long list of ideas. So, yeah, definitely true. And I'm not an endocrinologist, but as soon as you said you had a time when you were struggling, Dwayne, with topics, it's like, oh, let's see, we talk about A1C. That's probably like 3 episodes. And you talk about pre-diabetic, and then you talk about type 1 and type 2. So I'm like thinking, I was like, well, wait a second, I'm not an endocrinologist. That's not my topic. So, but yeah, it's just going through that. The hype for live events. Yep. Mommy says, Valerie, I'm happy and excited for the coming series with Tatiana and eCam. I'm actually I didn't know you could do a series on mistakes. I literally could do a separate channel on all my mistakes. That would be great.
Well, I would love to hear your collective wisdom on all the mistakes that you guys have made going live, because I plan to bring all of our stories to the live stream. Fortunately, Katie agreed. That's the idea is a go. And what I want to do is start researching, collecting, so that I can bring it all to the show.
Yeah. And the wonderful thing about YouTube is that streams and shorts and lives are all in one place, unlike platforms like Twitch and Twitter, which only have one. It's definitely true. And he says, Dwayne, I'm with Dwayne on this one. The adrenaline comes after the stream, except followed up with the desire to sleep around half an hour later. Yeah, it takes me 2 hours to wind down after a live stream, at least. And sometimes I have to go take some melatonin just to get to sleep that night. But I hate to do that because the next morning I get that grogginess I just hate. So anyway, yep. So definitely all the folks out there, just awesome folks. Just so said hi to a bunch of them. So anyway, so yeah, here we are, and all of us are creators. I want to go and then I want to talk about where everybody can find you guys. So in case everybody didn't know, in the description I have everybody's social links. But let's take a peek. I want to show you where everybody's at. So this is Tanya's channel. So if you go out to youtube.com, Tanya Smith, you will find Stream Like a Boss with Tanya Smith. So you definitely need to go out there and find her. Tatiana Teaches, go out there. This is her channel. You'll find all her social links out there. And Dr. Dwain Woode MD, here are all his links out there as well. So you guys definitely need to go. If you're not following these folks, you need to go find them and follow them. You might say, well, that's, they're covering such diverse topics. Those for you that are content creators like I am, Tanya's videos are just amazing. Everything that she teaches us, and she gives away such amazing content that you got to think to yourself, man, if I paid for her courses, I might blow up, because there's got to be just that incredible coming out of her courses. So you guys got to think about that. So definitely go find her community on Facebook as well. And really, I should let you talk about yourself, Tanya, because you probably you can do it better than I can. But I'm just a huge fan of all three of you guys. And so I'm like, wow, everybody should be following you guys. And so definitely, want to just shout out there. Tatiana, definitely, her videos about, different topics like preparing for giving and public speaking. And then she's talked about, different things that we kind of battle with. And so now she's going to get even more focused on, public speaking. Those of you that are nervous, that are introverts like I am, who's now found out that I'm really an ambivert, that I'm an introvert with extroverted tendencies, thanks to live streaming, you'll find that very helpful for you to get more confidence in front of the camera. And then definitely, Dr. Woode, definitely look in his videos. If you have any health challenges, to definitely go watch his videos. He gives such concise information in small packages. It makes it very easy to digest. And he explains it in English. It's not Dr. Ease or anything like that. It's in English. So anyway, I don't know. I just got excited, so I'm going to hush now. So anyway, Tanya, if I missed anything, please tell everybody.
No, this is just so much fun. First of all, I was sitting over here blushing because I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Wow, you're watching? Yeah, getnoticedwithvideo.com is my main site, but the YouTube channel is something that I'm really working on building and being more consistent with, because I initially started with Facebook. But I'm finding that there is really strong community in YouTube. So I love it. I love it. I love it. And anybody is welcome. Look, if it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not, then you get to self-qualify or disqualify, which I love that part too. But I'm here if you need me and you have questions about live streaming each and every week.
Awesome. Tatiana?
Hey, thank you, first of all, for sharing all of our links. I really appreciate it, especially as I'm starting out, launching, growing, little baby, growing into a nice, beautiful something. So I appreciate the love and the shout outs for people to come in. And again, it's such a work in progress for me. So I look forward to showcasing my growth, my development. And I know that niching down and focusing the content is really going to be a blessing for myself, my team, everyone, because then you need public speaking assistance, whether you're virtual or in person, then come and get some stuff from me. There's always going to be tons and tons of free content on the channel. And so I think that about sums that up. That's my goal, is to provide valuable content.
And Dwain, you, sir?
Well, Roy, first of all, thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for having me on with these lovely ladies. It was a real pleasure being here. And you can reach me, anyone who's looking for me, Dwain Woode MD, on any of the social media platforms. You type that in and you'll get directly to me. Love to connect. If you see me out there in the social space, say hello. Love to talk back with you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. And I hate to say it, I guess that's our show, but I definitely want to thank all of you so much for being on the show tonight with me. I thank you for agreeing to be here, because I definitely have enjoyed it, and I know that the community has definitely gotten something from it, and definitely being able to relate to you guys and understand what you guys have gone through. And so just thank you so much for being here tonight. And let's see. Yeah. Any closing thoughts as we close out the show?
Yes, I do. I have a closing thought. I know your hashtag is Tech Troublemaker, Roy, but after seeing how you do these content circles and the way that you connect people everywhere that you go, I think that instead of Tech Troublemaker, you can be the Circle Maker, because you just are so good at bringing people together. So thank you for that. And my final thought is, I want everybody to remember that it's important to make your mark on the world, whatever field that is. And thank you for allowing us to be able to help leave a mark with your audience tonight, Roy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, rebranding idea right there.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, I do cause trouble. So there's, it doesn't always show on video, thankfully, but yes. So I have my moments. And my wife can tell you. So anyway,
I bet.
Tanya, any last thoughts you want to share with everybody?
Oh, just thank you. Anytime I get a chance to be able to share and just give whatever is needed at the moment, because I don't believe in coincidences. I feel like the invitation that you shared with all of us, tech troublemaker / circle maker, I think it was a gift. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, all of you who are in the chat. I've been kind of scanning through the
Yes.
comments on the side here. Thank you for being there, and thank you for supporting all of us and encouraging us, and continuing to encourage Roy to build his channel as well.
Thank you. Let's see. Yep. David says he had Dwain and Tanya. I've subbed. Tatiana already subbed.
Well, thank you very much,
thank
David.
you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Lala says she loves watching those. I know I'm like overwriting us all here. Anyway, great stream, everyone. Coco says Steele's rebrand idea. Top. And then this is my outro with music. Anyway, so YouTube's going to tell you over here that there's this video you should be watching, and there'll be the center thing in the middle where you see my face, and if you click on that, you can subscribe. And that's what you do, but go subscribe to everybody who's on my show first, and then go find me and hit my subscribe button. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great night wherever you may be. Thanks, and bye!